the things that determine what really benefits a muscle. Direction of anatomical motion, range of motion, the resistance curve, making sure you have adequate, plenty of resistance in the early part of the range of motion, making sure that you're not compromising the resistance to that muscle by some, inadequate mechanics, and making sure that you're avoiding these neurological interferences. Okay, so kind of synopsizing, barbell squats for the quads and glutes provides inefficient quadricep and gluteus loading because of the reduction of the femur length and because the inadequate angle of that lower leg. You get the neurological interference, and you're also getting the spinal loading. So I put this picture here to show you that if you were to lift something very heavy with this crowbar, right, we can compare this to a squat. The reason you can squat so much is because of the physics related to that. It's because the lower leg is in the mostly neutral position. It's because you've shortened the femur length. Those things reduce the load to the muscle, which not only allows you to do more weight, but requires you to use more weight so that you can get adequate loading. This is foolish. You cannot brag about lifting this heavy thing if the compromised mechanics are what allowing you to do it, right? Is this guy going to build big muscles because he's lifting a heavy rock with that crowbar? Or wouldn't he build bigger muscles if he lifted a lighter rock without the crowbar, right? He'd be working harder. He'd be challenging his muscles more if that rock was 1/3 the weight, but he didn't use that crowbar. That's what these better exercises are like. Yes, you lift less weight, but you get more load for every muscle that you're working, and therefore more growth and less skeletal strain and less neurological conflict. Isolation exercises for quads and glutes give you more efficient loading, give you no neurological interference, no spinal compression, no spinal risk injury. Muscles that are strengthened individually are not less strong than muscles that are strengthened at the same time during one exercise. That's important to understand. We've been sold this nonsense of some magical thing that happens during squat, right? And by the way, we've been told that when you do squat, you have a slight elevation of testosterone production. Yes, you do have a slight elevation of testosterone production. And the reason for that is because of the heavy demand of calories. The flip side of that is that heavy calorie demand also creates systemic stress, systemic fatigue, which means that compromises your ability to recover from that leg workout, right? So yes, you get a little bit of a testosterone increase, but you get a lot of systemic fatigue. And it's more than that increase of testosterone would compensate for. It's just not worth it. Yes, you get more calorie burning, but you can get more calorie burning doing a lot of things. You can do treadmill running, you can do, stepping, you can do a lot of things. Don't rely on squats for your calorie burning because it's so compromised in these other ways. Don't compromise the safety of your spine just because you want to get calorie burning.